Hello everyone and welcome to the midweek video. I did another piece of the mansion. First things first, I had a bit of an issue because when I did the first piece of the mansion, the front entrance, I forgot to make a base plate, to say the front of the house, the house wall, that I could use for the other pieces. So I had to redo this from scratch. I did this for this, and then I made the model, and then I noticed that I had forgotten to make the thing from scratch to save it, so I have to do this a third time. Isn't it fun? So yeah, make sure you save often, make sure you save in increments so you can actually work with this better. But yeah, I could copy paste the windows, of course, so these are the same. But I wanted to have some element in it that gave it a bit more detail without too much. So what I settled down is basically for a planter with some greenery inside it, inspired more or less by the European Renaissance castles, mansions like that. They have usually big gardens with a lot of trees and nicely trimmed hedges and grass and all that stuff, like a great nicely trimmed lawn. Looks very pretty, but this is basically what I was going for. So I made a planter, very simple thing, as you can see, like the space planters I did, but even simpler than those. I actually thought about copy pasting those, but yeah, doesn't really need to. I made some soil in it. The first one was a bit too detailed, so I actually took this again, just raised and lowered the ground a bit, so this is a bit more textured, so it's not like a perfectly flat. It's supposed to be a bit odd, although look a bit 3D, look a bit more like Earth and like stuff. So yeah, I made this, and then I went ahead and I wanted to put some actual greens in it, some actual plants. So I thought, what kind of plants would I want to put in it? First thing was, I want to cover this basically in some kind of grass or something. So this is the first thing that I made. And yeah, this is a background element, so I didn't want this to be too detailed. I wanted this to be sure that I can put this in the background and you see it, and it registers as, oh, this is greenery, this is grass, nice, but it doesn't have to be too detailed. Also, from my previous extrudes in making plants, this is, yeah, you can put a lot of work in plants, suffice to say. So for the grass, for the single blades, I basically just made a flat surface. Yeah, altered this a bit to make the single blades of grass. And yeah, when I had this shape, I basically just copy pasted this a few times. I think about 10 or 12 times. Yeah, maybe even more. I think maybe even more than 10 or 12. And I welded all of them into one item, one piece. No reference to the anime here. Yeah, and I copy pasted these bigger assortments of grass over the whole planter to have this base element of, hey, there's greenery in here, which looks very nice. Like, I was surprised. I took the idea basically from video games that I play, where I'm like, how do they actually make grass in video games? And it's basically just that. It's really not that much more in video games. So yeah, stolen, and I don't care. I'm just doing what the masters do. For the next part, I actually wanted to do, I thought, okay, what kind of plant do I want to do? And I thought about making a tree. About that, I made trees before, and I have one good model and then a lot of bad models. So let me show you the good model. This is the best tree model. This is the best tree model that I ever made. I made it in 2018. and it is very detailed. Everything is a single object. This thing was so big in file size that I had to cut it down into 2 pieces, import them to Des separately, so Des wouldn't crash trying to import it. And yeah, and it is not even finished. You can see there's like parts where there's no leaves. So yeah, I thought about, okay, can I replicate this model, because this is honestly the only good tree model I ever made. It's the first model I think I've ever made, and it is the best one because I took a lot of time and detail for it. So I thought, can I replicate this, but better, but easier, but simpler, with all the things I learned since 2018. And I did. The tree stump itself is pretty much the same, but better. The original tree had a lot of different tubes that I stuck into each other. This is one tube with extrusion and yeah, a bit of connecting and subdivision. So I have a lot of different things, but the tree in itself is the trunk of the tree is just one piece. Again, no reference to the anime here. So I wanted to yeah. So this is easier to import because it is just one single object and not a lot of smaller different objects. Now I had to do the leaves, and again the leaves and the other thing are a lot of different small objects. So I thought, okay, can I do this quicker? Can I do this with less objects that are easier to take because they have less faces and less vertices and so on and so forth. So what I did is basically I made this flat surface, I cut it up a bit, I then thickened it because I noticed that if I smooth the flat surface, it still has corners and it still looks like squares. So I didn't want this. I thickened this. I turned this a bit in itself, and then I put these groups of leaves. Just these groups of shapes onto the tree. And honestly, this looks way better than expected. I'm really happy with how it turned out. This is definitely how I will make trees in the future because it looks realistic, even close up. Like I'm surprised at the render at the end how actually tree-ish this looks, even though it's just shapes. Again, I took this basically from video games where like, okay, how a bush is made, what is if I walk through a bush, how does this look, what does my model do? The model of the character in the game, playing a lot of Oblivion Remastered right now, where I can look this stuff right up. It is a game, they remastered it looks new, but they still basically do it like this, so I had a good reference here actually. Yeah, and that's basically also it for the video, which is a bit shorter than usual, but whatever. Monetized, so it doesn't really matter to me. But yeah, I managed to make a good tree for finally. I then copy pasted the tree, changed up the form a bit so that the thing actually looks a bit different, and then I copy pasted the different trees a bit more in smaller versions, so I have something going on in the grass that is filling this planter. Basically, I just wanted to fill a bit of the background with this. I will make probably 2 more pieces of the walls here for the mansion, but we're basically done with the mansion at this point, almost. I'll probably make one more video about making one more piece, but there's another reference, whatever. Yeah, that's it basically for this video. This is what I did. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked this. I'll see you on the weekend for another video, either with the mansion or with another set piece. That depends on how much time I have, how much time do I take. Thanks for watching. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll see you guys around.